Hello Scorpio, welcome back to Peony Lore, where we help you to find the beauty in all things. This is going to serve for the sun, moon, and rising sign of Scorpio for the entire month of October 2022. We are going through an extreme period of change. I know with Mercury retrograde going direct and a couple of other planets going direct, including Pluto, which is your ruling planet here in the month of October, we are going to see some accelerated motion from lots of different areas. And rather than get into all of the, whoops, hold on just a second. Sorry about that, teenagers. What are you going to do? Moving forward this month of October, Scorpio, of course, is all over the place and will turn direct for Scorpio on the 22nd. However, let us go through and see what we have going on for you for this month. So we are doing another shuffle because they said another shuffle. We are doing an abridged version. I am doing what's called the elements reading for all signs for this month. So make sure that you take a look at your sun, your moon, and your rising sign to ensure that you're getting the full picture for what is going on. We always start off with the sacred geometry card if you watch my readings, because that is what we do. So this month of October, Scorpio, is going to be all about creation energy for yourself here. And that makes a lot of sense with Pluto going direct after it's been in retrograde for a while. What we have here is the egg of life, which has to do with the keys to your own blueprint, meaning the things that you are supposed to be doing. Now, I am doing this hopefully camera forward, as I am going to try to flip these based upon how it is I'm going to do these readings, okay? So the element readings that I'm going to do are going to be representative of the four directions, the four angels, the four elements. We're going to start off with the east, which is in my direction here, the east, the south, the west, the north, and we are going to expand with the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. We will expand further with the White Sage Tarot. We will pull you an angel healing card, and at the end we will read the details that's associated with this sacred geometry card. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off in the direction of the east, and we have a sideways card. Now, if you have any placements in, let's just say, Sagittarius, I would have you take a look at that reading, because this is the only card that has popped out in similar stead. So it's very possible that you have Sagittarius very heavy in your chart, or you are on the cusp. So this would make a lot of sense. In the energy of the East, the energy of Archangel Raphael, our thoughts, how we feel about ourselves, what it is that we've got going on in our brains as far as our potential, what we have here is the Seven of Cups. Now, in some cases, the Seven of Cups indicates that there's confusion. In other states, what it means is that there's so many details that are coming at you. It's just a matter of trying to prioritize the different details that are there. And of course, all of our Scorpios, including myself as a Scorpio rising, like to know that we are dealing and examining all the different information that is in these different water elements. And so what I see happening here very legitimately is the transition. This is something that's already started to take place for you and will formalize itself here in the month of October. So there's lots of different options as far as moving forward. The thing that the universe asks us to do in one way, shape, fashion, or form is to take one of the cups and to drink the energy of what's going on in that particular cup for our best and highest good. And of course, with all the deep dives that Scorpio is taking, you have to be prepared to understand what's going on in all of the different cups. But, making a choice is the best thing. But again, something has already been asked for. So let's continue on, and we will do clarifiers to get a little bit more information of that. But there's something else that's for you here. Let's go to, oh my gosh, all sideways cards, huh? All right. In the energy of my direction, south, we have the Four of Cups. Okay. The Four of Cups sometimes can be a little bit the energy can sometimes be understood as complacency. You're so satisfied with whatever it is that you got going on right now that you're comfortable where you're at. And even though you're comfortable, the universe is trying to get your attention with this cup that's popping out saying, no, we have an opportunity for you. Or there's a piece of information that you're not recognizing at this particular moment. And it really does have something to do with who you are at the deepest level. So you've got all of this water energy already in both of the stations of both air and fire. And the fire energy is all about the assertion. It's about where you're going. It's about your self-will. It's about what Archangel Michael is trying to get your energy and protection around. And it has something to do with what the universe is trying to tell you. So it looks to me as though things are well in motion for an opportunity or at least an acceptance of some sort of a concept that's coming towards you this particular month, Scorpio. Let's go ahead and move on to the element of water, which is in the west, which is supported by Archangel Gabriel. And the card that we have meant to be read in the reverse position is the Queen of Wands. Okay, Queen of Wands. My favorite queen in the entire deck. I say it all the time, and it's because the queen is a very energetic as an individual, but also energetic being that is as far as emotions are concerned, she is very on top of her emotions. She knows what needs to be done. She gathers the resources. She gathers the troops. She communicates well. But if something is in the reverse position, for the Queen of Wands, there's a slow momentum. And the Queen has everything to do, of Wands, has everything to do with forward momentum. It has everything to do with usually work energy, entrepreneurial energy. And the emotion is that there is some sort of a stop that is taking place at the moment. There's no energy moving forward with this Queen of Wands. And so with these elements already showing that there's something going on, it makes sense to me that it would be at a little bit of a stop phase right now until you understand kind of what's going on in these different areas. A choice or an opportunity that you maybe not have seen very clearly in the past is what I see happening here. Let's move forward to the north position, which is the energy of Earth, which is the energy of Archangel Uriel. What it is that's coming towards you, my friends, has to do with this King of Pentacles energy. Okay, King of Pentacles, Earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, just to put the details out there, as opposed to the fire sign, which is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. If you needed to look at the signage that way, of course, you guys are well in your own element here for water, but of course you could be dealing with a Cancer or also a Pisces and any of those different areas. Regardless, what the universe is saying is that the key to your blueprint has everything to do with you maintaining your own element of your physical manifestations, meaning your work, your home, your cars, whatever the case may be for you. The King of Pentacles is solid in structure, is solid in form. All the resources that are needed are available to the King of Pentacles. He would not have a kingdom if he wasn't ensuring that he had all of his ducks in a row and his kingdom is working for him. Everybody's working harmoniously together. So if there's a stop from an emotional perspective, from something that you're doing with a work situation or a project, we are going to find a little bit more about that. But the universe is saying at the end of the day, you are going to walk forward with this King of Pentacles in some sort of solid factor when it comes down to your resources. Again, resources could be people, places, things, but it is a tangible resources that you can get your hands on. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go towards the bottom of the deck. This is the only second time they've asked me to do this. Okay. In the past, we have the Nine of Cups in the reverse position, meaning an unhappy type of a situation. The other card that we have next to it is also the Leo card in the reverse position. And then who do we have? We have the Queen of Pentacles. So what this is saying to me, in order to explain it a little bit more fully to you, is that in the past, for sure, there's been something that has made you unhappy. And it has challenged your strength when it comes to being stable with resources. The Queen of Pentacles is always somebody that is sure of herself when it comes to what it is that she brings towards the kingdom or the queendom, regardless of gender, because there's no gender assigned here. But the strength card in the reverse position, this again, I'm telling you, if you've got Leo in your charts, this is a very similar message to what I had for Leo and also for Sagittarius. Take a look at the placements in your chart to see where the 5th house and also the 9th house are in play for you. Something in the past was not right when it came to your happiness. Something was unfulfilling to you. Something was taking your energy, sapping your energy, and that's not necessarily a good thing, especially when it comes for your planning of resources and stability. So it looks as though some of these things are getting ready to change. You go from manifestation process and making sure that things are there to actual growth when it comes to the king. So I wanted to just make sure that I put those details out here. I'll just leave these right here. Just so that we can move forward. We're going to pull out the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, and we're going to get some more details on what this means for the 7 of Cups for our Scorpio in our air position, the way that we are thinking, and what it is that we have going on with our thoughts for this particular month. What has occurred up until this particular moment that is giving our Scorpios pause with their thoughts. And what we have here is patience. Well, we got the energy of temperance, and the energy of temperance is the energy of fire and water mixing. That's pretty much what it is. Actually, there's different elements that go on to it if you really want to know the details. But what we have here is patience. What we have here is some challenges going on with the standard practice, very strategic movement of what an earth sign would give you. So Virgo is very, very much about 6th house. It's future. So there's a lot of thoughts about future and where you're at with your patience when it comes to your expansion, your wisdom, and your abundance. So this has been a huge stumbling block for you up until this moment, but this is what's shifting for you, your patience. They're asking me to go one more on that, so I am going to. And let's see if we can explain it a little further. Yeah, it has everything to do with this Capricorn energy that we were talking about, this Taurus energy that we were talking about. This also has a lot to do with your thought process about what you were doing or giving as far as charity. And like I said, just basically it's just showing that you had lack of optimism when it came towards your Sagittarian energy. I really am encouraging you to go and take a look at that maybe. So lack of patience when it came to an organization. Your thoughts are towards moving forward in some way, shape, or form, and making sure that you're getting what it is that you're putting you are receiving the energy that you're putting out. And so you have no optimism, or you had no optimism at one point. And so those were the things that are shifting around for you in this particular moment. Again, Leo, Sagittarius, very, very similar in style. Let's go ahead and go with the energy of the South when it comes to your assertion and your energy drive moving forward. Again, a 4 of Cups is indicating that you have had some stagnancy in your get up and go, right? Not a lot of mojo going on there, and the universe is trying to get your attention. Well, what they're trying to get your attention about is this Virgo energy, the natural order of things. There's details behind the surface with this water energy here, this moon in Virgo. It has everything again to do with the 6th house. It has things to do with your future movement, your future momentum. How do you get things strategically placed? How do you align things up? And so that is what it is that you're walking away from, is something that seems to have not been in a very good order. You've taken the time to review that information, and so this is where you're at with how you are thinking and your momentum. Obviously your thoughts are going to drive you, but let's see what's going on with your actual physical emotions in this emotions house. Well, all right. So emotionally, here you are. You've got Mars and Scorpio energy. This is exactly the challenge that you've had. There's a challenge with Mars and Scorpio here with what we're calling revenge. It's not really revenge, but what it is that you are trying to, in one way, shape, or form, make sure that you are stopping the freight train, especially if there's been some confusion somewhere, and so that you can take advantage of what the universe is trying to share with you. Very, very interesting. So similar in nature to what some of the other signs were. I really am encouraging you to go take a look at that. So let's see, what do we have here with our King of Pentacles as far as what we see in our future for our tangible resources? Oh, we had one fly. Let's see. Hey, look at that. We had some indecisions going on before. We have Venus and we have Libra energy that's popping up here. And so it does appear potentially that Scorpio, you could also have maybe some Libra in your chart. Doesn't necessarily have to be, but there's been some indecision. This is what created. And what I want you to pay attention to is this energy of time. You may not be able to see this very well, but down here at the bottom, there is a little, how do you call it in English? The sand clock with the wings on it. This is all about time and not being able to see what needed to happen. Well, it's because the universe was putting things into perspective for you here, right? So time flies is one of the words that comes to mind, although I know that's not necessarily what it is. More so than what I'm getting is that it wasn't time, and therefore that created some of these issues. Now there's going to be this is the time for you to be able to move forward to make some of these different decisions. Let's go forward with an oracle of, with a white sage tarot card, just to clarify. So what else do we have going on here with the Seven of Cups for our Scorpio within their thoughts, with everything else that we've seen? King of Pentacles. You guys, you can't make this up. Something, your decision ultimately is been trying to be about how you can create a little bit more stability within your finances or your other resources, whatever your tangible, touchable thing it is for you. And you've had to fight against impatience. You've had to fight against an organization or being organized in one way. In some senses, you're feeling as though this charity aspect that's coming forward with actually the energy of Saturn attached to all of this. Your responsibility. What is your responsibility within this structure or situation? And at the end of the day, there just was no optimism in it. Therefore, you are being forced to think about how to make these things be aware in your future. How are these things thinking? And it looks like there's already been some sort of a decision because it's already in play right at this moment. So look at this, look at this, look at this. Okay, what is this all about? Well, the universe is saying here that we have some short-term, right? You've been in your head. You were in your head a very, very, very long time. This Nine of Swords energy is inability to sleep. There is this energy of also Libra energy within this decision. It's possible that you're dealing with the Libra if you don't already have Libra in your chart, because the Empress in the upright is all about manifestation. So I believe that this is talking about the fact the universe is trying to make a way for you to get this manifestation, but it did cause a great deal of lack of sleep. It caused a lack of, this is really putting your guards up too. The worst part about the Nine of Swords and also the Nine of Wands or rods is that there's this huge like, I'm not doing this. There's this aggressive kind of like, let's stop the momentum here. But this one gets a little bit more mental, and it creates the situation where you don't have a get up and go energy. You don't even have the energy, especially if you've not been sleeping well. But at the end of the day, it's because there's something that you want. So let's move on into the energy of what we see here with our emotions with this revenge. Well, we have Seven of Wands energy also sticking up for oneself. So similar to the Leo reading. I tell you, you guys, you got to just go back and read them. These are short format, so they're not too long for this entire month, but no get up and go. And how I see it, because Scorpio, you know that you can be very, very sharp in tongue if you're pushed with your back up against the wall. You would rather do it slowly than actually get to a point where you are cutting someone off and creating a situation. Nothing like creating and burning bridges, but it doesn't look like that's the goal that you have. It looks like you're just more so than anything else trying to stand up for whatever it is that you wanted to be able to do. You earned something in the past with those 6 Wands. You were doing something beautifully, and now there's this stop because you are trying to maintain whatever it is that you have created in the past. Let's go over to the north and let's see what we have with that. Well, there you go. All right, we have 2 cards here, and so what we're going to do is we are going to Yep. So this is the energy of the Strength card, again being duplicated here, also in the reverse position. You weren't feeling the best about what was going on. This location sapped your energy. It goes right on with this 9. And then whether or not, because every single reading, with the exception of 1 or 2, has had the Star card pop out here. The future is going to be predicated on what it is that you want to do, your manifestations. I'm going to sit there and match that up with the Empress. But in the energy of it being in the sideways position, you could also be dealing with an Aquarius that was maybe pushing your buttons a little bit. It doesn't have to be. I'm just putting it out there. But basically what this is saying is that healing is needed in this situation. And healing does have the potential to have been what is going to drive this King energy moving forward for you in the physical resources this particular month. Bottom of the deck, just because I feel like I need to do it, Ace of Swords in the reverse position, very similar to this air position with not time, the timing not being right for something in the past. I'll go ahead and just leave that one there. Let's go ahead and move into the Angel card. This is the Healing Angels for our Scorpio. Let's see what we have. What do they want to share? Goddess energy, Empress energy. Okay, so Empress. Okay, so we're talking about expressing your divine feminine, and that's literally what the egg of life is about. It's the energy of 3. It's the divine feminine energy that's coming through, embracing its magical intuition and its nurturing qualities. So there is something that you are trying to call into yourself here, or have tried calling it into yourself. There may have been a little bit of stop. And the only person that's stopping you is you, or was stopping you. Again, could be a potential that there was someone else that was in the mix that was creating a little bit of challenge for you in this whole process. But at the end of the day, this is all about you moving forward. Something is already in place here. Something has already been decided and it's already in play. Let's go ahead and get into the Egg of Life with our Sacred Geometry card here. Let's go ahead and explore the energy of 3 with this energy for divine feminine. So the Egg of Life, if you wanted to use a mantra, it would go like this: I choose to leave a positive imprint in my lifetime. Cool. Well, if you want to be positive, then you're certainly not going to, have some issues with revenge or negative energies being displayed on your behalf. Like I said, not cutting ties in a wrong way. There's a lot of energy when it comes to work or project with somebody else, that's for sure. So it's here to remind you, this specific shape, Sacred Geometry, that you have a purpose. And it's asking you to not only respect where you are, but where you've come from. And this is a good representation with this water energy here. So many things you had to consider in your thoughts. So many times that you weren't able to sleep because you were trying to make order of somebody else's thought process. Again, both of these fundamentals are issues with the way things are coming into balance and impatience in the 6th house. That's future steps. So that is crazy making energy for a lot of different people. So the Egg of Life is the 2nd stage of Genesis, or the 2nd rotation in its creation. And so what you have to be able to realize is that within this shape, not only is a cube created, but also 2 tetrahedrons, one facing up and the other facing down. It forms the 2-dimensional Star of David, or in 3 dimensions, the Merkaba, or the Merkaba. So what this is saying is that you've got to take a look within your heart and your soul. And within this sacred universal pattern, we have the choices to hold and create the patterns in which we want our lives to follow. Choices we make within our lifetime create the patterns that we follow. And this is our blueprint. Use this time to learn, to teach, and also to grow, okay? So there does seem to be some sort of stability here. There is something that is in front of you that is in play. If you haven't seen it display itself completely, then you are going to see this offer or this acceptance of who you are and where you've been actually be at the forefront of what is going on this particular month with all of these different options that are in front of you. So if you want to use crystalline support, okay, in order to help you with this, then you can use the energy of Mukite. which is a very happy, joyful energy. You can also use petrified wood if you have it to get grounded, and you can also use moldavite if you can get your hands on it in order to help expand what those different options are for you. So again, when things start to shift for you by the end of the month on the 22nd, then I think that you're going to find yourself, you will have figured out a majority of this information up until that point. On the 28th, I can tell you that the sun, which is going to be in Scorpio, is going to be opposite Uranus and Taurus, which is literally about how do I get this and what do I have to do to change in order to get this. So at the end of the day, you're in a very, very good position, my friends, in order to understand the different challenges and changes that you've been through. But the universe does not want you to be unhappy. The universe wants you to be happy. If things weren't timely before, they are timely now here in the month of October. So that is what I have for you, Scorpio. A lot of things are in play for you. Make sure you take a look at your sun, your moon, and your rising sign. I'm pushing you very heavily to take a look at that Leo and or Sagittarius. They're so similar in nature. However, make sure that you are taking a look at the readings, the cards or the elements or the themes that seem to be the most consistent between each of the ones that you look at. That for sure is a sign for you to get on that bagwagon and do a little bit more deep digging for yourself. Of course, if you're looking for a personal reading, would like to get down to your specifics, then please take a look at the description box below so that you can find out how to book a personal reading with myself. Other than that, my friends, that is what I have for you for the month of October. Thank you so much. Make sure that you give it a like, share, and subscribe if you're a visitor, in order to receive more readings like this from me in the future. Many, many, many blessings, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.